Okay, and hello and welcome to another edition of hashtag esports time. Here's your host, DrPuppet Weber, also known as Alexander V. Come on, restart. Hello and welcome to another edition of hashtag esports time. This is your host, Alex DrPuppet Weber, and today we're gonna talk about the new trending pick in the mid lane, to Runeglaive Smite Ezreal mid lane. Alright, so if you saw a little bit of SoloQ lately, you've probably noticed that everybody's playing this Ezreal pick mid lane where they go Smite and Flash and just go for an AP build. So first, it's unusual to pick Smite in the mid lane, and then of course it's unusual to play APS, right? So I'm gonna try to explain you a bit of this pick and try to guide you through. So first, we're gonna check runes and mastery setups pros have been playing, which I can really say for sure what is the best option or what is the actual training option, simply because I couldn't see too many games of it, since I only watched a few games of SoloQ from this pick and a few scrims, so it's not much. I can share a bit of information, but I can really tell for sure right now because everybody's testing out the pick. So what Alex Ich has been playing, he has been playing Magic Pen Marks, he has been playing Scaling Life Seals, and a mix, no, he has been playing Scaling AP on Glyphs and Flat AP on Quints, while Xiao has been playing also Magic Pen on Marks, Scaling Life on the Seals. He has been playing Scaling CDR on Glyphs and Flat AP on Quints. So basically what we learned from this, we're going for scalings in the Glyphs. Well, the Magic Pen is kind of obvious because you want to get the most flat damage out of your early game power spike with the Q and W, because you have a really good solid and scaling base ratio that is already at 100 at level 2 or 3. Well, I'm gonna check that. Let me check that. Let me check that before I talk some real weird shit here. I'm gonna check how good the scaling is on Ezreal, right? So the Ezreal scaling is basically AD and AP, so you have a good flat damage already with 35, 55, 75, 95 and 115 on base, plus you get 110% of your AD ratio, so plus the 40% AP. That's why pros are maxing the Q often on this build, simply because you have already on the early game a lot of damage, even though you don't have anything or any items right now, because it has a solid damage ratio only because you have probably around to 60 to 80 AD in the first 3 levels, right? So going by that, you can expect that you have around about 50 to 70 damage depending on runes and mastery setups in level 1 Q. So that's kind of nice, and you have a cooldown of 6 seconds level 1, so that's also nice. So if you go for the CDR glyphs that Xiao was playing, it definitely works kind of well. So you can get really low CDs even before you get the Runeglaive, which we're gonna go through because that's the main point of this build. So you can expect a lot of damage, very good early game damage, and a lot of spam ratio. So the case of this build, you want to spam, right? So that's why Xiao goes for the CDR glyphs, which is nice, so you don't have to go that much CDR on items. But I think you get enough CDR from the items you have to build anyway. So oh wait, let me check. Alex's build gives him plus 25% CDR, and Xiao's build as well, and plus the 15 CR he gets from the runes at level 18, he will be at 40% at level 18. So I guess that's the better option in my opinion for the runes, because you want to have the lowest CDR available just to check on or to prog your Runeglaive as much as possible. So first, why do we even play Smite mid, right? So looking at the runes, it kind of explains for itself. The main point of the build is to use the new jungle item, and jungle item upgrade I should call, and called Runeglaive. It builds out of a sheen, so you can expect you have 40 AP damage, you have 200 mana, and 10% CDR plus the passive from Sheen, and Smite item, which is kind of nice, and you can last it better. You can save Smite. You can use you can choose from 3 possible item upgrades from out of the Mahete. Like Chilling Smite, you want to have a CC or safe lane. If you want to go for skirmishes, also fine. And also, if you need more wave clear in the team, just go the purple Smite and just go for wave clear. And I would like to see some Poacher's Knife in there. So like you can go and just hop around the jungle with your E and then just smite a camp, so you can move faster, right? So why not? So now we have the runes. We have the reason why we have these runes. So let's go first for to the Masteries before we go to the scaling and item builds. So the thing about the Masteries I'm seeing here, I think Xiao and Alex Itch went for similar rune pages. I'm just checking if they are basically the same. Yeah, they're basically the same. They're going 2109 and really taking the right side of the offensive tree completely out, and then going for some mana reg and the cookies. So yeah, that's great actually, and that's basically it for Masteries. There's nothing more to say. I think they are kind of obvious on this matchup. However, we see a different type of scaling orders, but the build is basically the same. The only difference that Alex built in that game was that he decided to build QSS later in the game. So he went for the scimitar as well. So you can see a difference between matchups there. So you have a very flexible build. Like also Alex Stitch went for, like I said, the purple smite because his team was lacking wave clear. So basically what we learned from this pick, it's first very versatile. You have a very safe lane because of the smite, your E, and the flash. You can poke, you can farm, you can adapt to a lot of champion variety, team comms, and however the game is going, and you have a very huge early to mid game power spike, and just by abusing the Runeglaive, right? So how does it work, or how do we scale on this matchup? So basically, what the most people are playing is that they max Q first, get on level on E at level 2, and level on W on level 3, on level 4 or 5. So they have it before the ultimate, but then max out Q first, and then or go either W or E, depends on how it goes. I think E is better because it's a safer option, and also get a good scaling on AP, which is basically the reason why I go for E. It's still 75%, and the W just scales 5% more. So there's some reason why you shouldn't go for the safeness and get CD reduction on your escape spell. So that's pretty easy to understand. So basically how the lane goes, you get first a flask normally, and you go for a lane. You want to farm first to get your sheen. You get back and get your sheen first, and then you rush the Runeglaive upgrade. So basically what you do is you smite first creep, go for some poke, and then try to keep pushing the enemy in and poking him, like because of the smite you can manipulate the wave very easy, and since you are maxing Q first, you can abuse the early game power spike from the Q damage and you can lane very safely because you still have your E and your flash. And then as soon as you have your smite, normally you go for the chilling smite. You have also a slow, so you're very, very solid in terms of safe laning. This counters a bit the early weakness from Ezreal not being too strong, being safe, but you still don't have kill potential, but you're still a lot more safer to ganks. And even though you were already kind of safe because of the E, you're now more safer, and it's basically ungameable lane, right? So what you do then after you go for the scaling, you go for a mix of CDR and AP damage. Like you focus first, maybe get your Ionian boots, and after you get your Runeglaive, of course, Lune's Echo, and then you see there if you want to go for Zonius, if you want to go for Void Staff, Bishop Scepter, or even a Death Cap, you have a lot of variety there, and you can just add like Stitch also did with the QSS and going for the Scimitar, which is totally fine in my opinion, and you're very flexible there. So however, whatever you do, just abuse your early game power spike with the Runeglaive. So get a mix of AP and CDR, so you have the 40% CDR if you go with the runes, and however, otherwise you go for more CDR items if you want to have 40% and don't want to run in the runes CDR. Even though I think the CDR in the runes is a bit better than the scaling AP, because you then can go simply like Shao did on the game. You go Death Cap, Void Staff, you start building Zonius before finishing the game, you go for Ludens, and you go for a Runeglaive with Chilling Smite and then Ionian Boots. And because you have the 15% CDR on level 18 in the runes already, you get there in no time. So you have 25% CDR on your build, and then the last 15 in your runes, which is totally fine and nice in my opinion. That's the best option you can do, in my opinion, of course. And in terms of using that information, how our pros are playing, and what I've seen in replays, VODs, like this replay that you're probably watching right now in my video, that is from the Alex Ditch game. I've seen another European SoloQ game plus a scrim yesterday, so you can expect that Ezreal might be a training pick, and many people ask me, how do I play against it, or what do I think is the best option for playing against it? So in my opinion, first, you don't want to go a melee champion. Second, you rather don't want to go for a melee assassin like Talon or Zed, or even a low range Sandra, because you can get kited out, you can really easily outpoked and outplayed by Ezreal. And so you want to avoid it. If you want to go for a kill potential lane assassin, you probably want to go Ahri or something like Syndra, even though in my opinion it's not the best option, because Ezreal has a very safe lane with 2 escape spells plus whatever he decides to get on the Smite upgrade. And so I would rather go for pokish lanes or just farm lanes. Like in my opinion, the best matchups would be for you against the Ezreal pick, the Azir matchup, the Varus matchup, or the Jace matchup in the current meta. Simply because you can farm up, you can poke back, and you are a very safe laner. So those are in my opinion the better ones, because you also can really dodge, or you are not your own unmobile to play around it. Okay, the Varus is a bit more unmobile, but you can pull back really easily, and you can position yourself very safely because you have a long range Q. So that's my take on the matchup right now. So you can share your experience and your thoughts on the pick, on the matchups, and the item builds right in this comment section down below. If you liked the video and want to see more talks about upcoming picks and trending picks in SoloQ, just give me a thumbs up, and I will know that you like to see those kind of videos, and I might do more of them. So if you want me to talk about any other pick in the current meta, try to explain, go for Rune's Masteries, why I think this is the best setup, and whatever around this pick, go ahead, put in the comments section below, or reach out to me on Twitter at ALWM9. So guys, this was Alex DrPuppet Weber with another hashtag esports. See see us on the next time. Bye bye, adios amigos.